Could've seen this coming right from the start. You should beware, beware, beware.
Welcome to Car Talk. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Sabina. So today we're going to be talking about moving in with your significant other. And man, do we have stories to tell you.
Yeah. So tell them why we picked this topic.
So we picked this topic because we feel like this is a common thing people do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of people... Well, yeah, and I think also a lot of people have problems with this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is a lot of problems happen once they move in with their significant other.
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts a little bit, and we're going to give you some tips and some suggestions and,
tips based off of our experiences. Obviously, we don't know all of them, so these are just based off what we have. So if you have any other suggestions or tips, feel free to comment.
Yeah, that's true. And so we're going to be talking about, things that need to be discussed, like who gets what side of the closet.
So I think, yeah, you're right. Just side of the closet. But I think that's the problem is there's no discussion that ever happens, really.
Yeah, and
right?
I think sometimes, especially with people, in the household, it's like, should the toilet seat be kept down? Something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, like we said, or like Steph just mentioned right now, the first thing that you got to do before you even decide moving in is to talk about it.
Hey, so did you talk about it?
What?
Before you moved in with all your people, did you talk about it? What? I'm asking.
I feel like, and this is what I'm going to talk to you about, like, it wasn't discussed really. Like,
yeah,
once I had my kid, it was like automatic. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we got to move in together. You know what I mean? So that's one, right?
Oh, you mean with who you had a child with?
Yeah.
Oh, that
so
one.
I was like, okay. So that makes sense,
yeah,
right?
that makes, yeah.
But see, this is the thing, and this is what I wanted to say is like, don't let a situation make you feel forced. I mean, don't feel forced to take the next step up, because just because you have like a baby with that person doesn't mean that, moving in without discussing it is like
good.
Yeah.
I just think, I think a lot of people don't think it's as serious as it is until they're in the situation. And even though like it didn't go well with someone, they do it again because they think it's going to be different. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. You have to discuss it. Like, it has to be a talk because no matter what, like, you can't just say, let's move in and figure it out. No. Let's figure out, like, what, dude?
It's
like,
because everyone's normality is different. Like, you grew up a different way with these kind of standards of living, and I grew up this way with these standards of living.
And
that wasn't a big deal. That's not a big deal to me. It's a big deal to you, and vice versa.
Yeah, so I think that discussion needs to happen, and just don't feel. My thing is about that discussion happening. Don't feel pressured, man.
So after your first one, though, did you discuss it after that? Like with other people that you moved in with? I'm just...
I feel like the second person that I decided to move in with, it wasn't so much as a forced situation, but I feel like it wasn't really, actually, it was kind of a discussion. I think it was a bossy discussion probably because it was like, hey, just move in and make my life easier. Basically, that was a discussion.
That's not a discussion.
It won't.
I guess it's a...
Yeah, it is. It's like, hey.
It's just not a very in-depth conversation.
Okay, so this was the discussion. It was like, hey, like I have my career and you're working on your career and you're free. You're part-time working. You have 2 jobs, but here's the deal. Move in. I have a kid, and obviously she got along with the kid very good. And, he loved her, so we were good, right? Comfort's there. And I made a proposition. I was like, move in, your bills will be taken care of. All I ask is that you help me around the house and take care of things. So she was basically like a stay-at-home wife. And I didn't have a problem with that because in my mind it was, hey, you have these goals. Let me help you with these goals. You help me with the house. And that included taking care of my son. So, and that was our discussion. And, obviously it's hesitant for somebody to come in and be like, oh, I have to fully I'm going to depend on you for everything. So that was like, well, at first it's like questionable because she's never had that before. And so obviously, as time gone on, there was trust built up and she saw that, okay, well, this is what I would like. These are my goals. And, we made it happen. So, I did the third time.
Have the discussion?
Yes, we did have the discussion.
Oh, okay.
We had the discussion of how the bills were going to be split. And that's, we'll go into depth with that because that was an important discussion. And a lot of these suggestions and tips that I'm going to be giving was based on those decisions and experiences that I made with that final discussion.
I can tell you right now, I never had a discussion. Not once have I have a discussion. Not once do I have a discussion. You know what? And this is a mistake. It's a mistake that people have because it's assumed. It's you assume how things are going to go down based on the situation. Hey, I'm working, you're not, so I'm assuming you're going to take care of more of the household duties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming I'm going to pay all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming you like doing that stuff, and I'm assuming you like cooking all the time because you do it, right? And that's what we're going to get into this too, is don't let it build up.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a situation, if you're in a situation and you don't like it, or like you thought you would like it, and then your perceptions changes about it, or your feelings change about it for whatever reason, you need to voice it. We are not mind readers. We don't know that you have a problem with whatever, cooking dinner every night. Sorry, we don't know. We don't. If you want to eat fucking raviolis, then let me know. I'll heat them up for you. You know what I'm saying?
I'll have the can open as soon as you get home.
You want a frozen burrito? I'll throw it in there. Like, you know, if you need that help from me, you got to let me know. I'm not a mind reader. Yeah. You know, so
discussions always have to happen.
Especially too, because in the beginning of the relationships, people are like, oh, lovey dovey, and nothing bothers me. Oh, I love it.
I love the way you chew.
I love living with you, and nothing bothers me about you. Oh, you don't bother me. Blah blah blah, and then kick that 6 months to a year to 2 years to 5 years. Oh, now all those things that didn't bother them in the beginning now suddenly bother them, and it's like I'm not saying like you can't change your mind about something, but you do have to be vocal about it, because how is anybody supposed to know?
Yeah, I agree. So
rant over.
So the way, like, let's have that discussion, right? But I think prior to that discussion too, before you decide like this is even a thought,
you gotta scope them out.
Yeah, you do have to scope them out, and before you even think of sharing a space, you have to try and see if this person is clean.
If you're a clean person, some people don't need to see if they're clean because they don't care.
No, well, me, I have to see if you're clean.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You got to see if their standards match yours, because sometimes they don't. You got to peep in their room, and then their car, right? I told you.
Yeah, so my thing is like my suggestion for like scoping out or looking for the red flags for cleanliness is get an idea of where they live, right? How they live, how they treat the people they live with. If it's family, like look at their responsibilities. Because like I did date somebody and I moved in with them, right? And this should have been a flag. When I look back and I reevaluate, reassess, and think about things, it's like, dang, I should have saw that. So, if they're living with their family, especially their parents, moms, right? Traditional Mexican family, usually mama takes care of everything. If the mom is doing their laundry, the mom is cooking for them and cleaning their room, chances are you're probably going to have those same responsibilities, cleaning up after them, cooking after them, like everything, right? So that's a flag in itself. You know what I mean?
If you don't like doing that stuff.
Yeah. And so my thing is also to consider those things and how they respond to with those that live with them. Like if somebody's telling them, hey, you didn't throw out the trash, or hey, this is that, like chances are you're going to have to deal with telling them the same.
You're going to deal with
shit.
Stinky trash when you walk home from work. You're going to smell the air and say, you didn't throw the trash today?
We'll talk about that later. But that's very important. Like Steph said, like it's funny because Steph, I think one time I had me and Steph's standards for cleanliness, like it's pickup, and sometimes it's pickup for me and then clean and whatever. But Steph's like, everything's organized or has a place to be, it's fine. And I forgot why, dude. I think you're like, I hope that the person that you're dating right now is a dirty person. And I go, Steph, don't say that, right? Yep. And so I ended up going over to her house.
I knew she was going to be. I already felt the vibe.
You did?
I did.
So it was funny because I was like, she's like, look, what was the advice you gave me about the car?
I said, look, you got to check out a girl's car, right? Because normally girls have dirty cars. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they do. Check it out. I'm not saying you're a dirty girl for having a dirty car. I'm just saying if you have a dirty car, more likely you're clean at home. More than likely you are. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you have a clean car, you're a dirty bitch. You're a dirty bitch at home. I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. You know why? Because you're thinking about perception. So your car needs to be clean. Why? Because people are you don't want to be outed for being a dirty bitch. You're going to see your car. They're going to see your car right now. I'm telling you this right now. You guys look at this. If you guys don't believe me, observe. Open your eyes. Look at girls that have dirty cars. I guarantee you they're not dirty bitches at home. Guarantee. Guarantee.
Okay, I have a question because remember when you told me that I got offended because I was like,
Yeah.
bitch, I was like, my car's clean. And you're like, no. I was like, well, it's clean for the most part. Like, I have to have it clean. I have to have a scent in there because, you know.
Yeah, but she's gay, so it's different.
What? Me?
You're gay, yeah. It's different. I'm talking about just a girl, like
girl in general.
Girly girl, like a girl.
So
like
I'm
that's
not-
gonna be the girl in the relationship.
She was.
You're right. You're the boy, huh? I mean, she was the boy. Yeah.
Yeah. See.
But she went. But she was straight before that. That's what I'm saying.
See, but I was straight before that too.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and
See?
I'm just saying the majority of the time it works out.
Okay, but you were right because because I feel like her car was cleaner than mine.
Because I like to keep my car clean. See, what did I just tell you? I'm probably not the cleanest person at home. You know, I'm not a dirty bitch. You know, but best believe you're gonna have to remind me to clean out the fridge. Okay, you're gonna have to remind me. Somebody who has a dirty car, I guarantee you their fridge is perfectly clean.
Okay, so Steph told me that really, really great advice. And I was like, no, Steph, because I love to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, no, Steph, that's not true. And I feel like I always do that to you and you're always right. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I have to find an excuse to go over or whatever. Well, it wasn't even an excuse. She was like, hey, come over, blah, blah. And she was like, because she already knew how clean my car was and how I had things in my room. Yeah. Right. So she already was embarrassed. She's like, no, I don't want you seeing, my room. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, like I've hung out with people, and they've like, oh, my room's messy. I'm like, oh, it's not even that messy or whatever. Like Steph's room's not even that dirty, Mm-hmm. But when I went in there, I was like, oh my gosh. But I was just like, oh, she's like, see, it's embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. Or Mighty Mouse. It's so embarrassing. And I was just like, no, it's cool. Right. And I felt like I sat there, right? And I had a lot of anxiety looking around. And what ended up happening is I looked around and, dude, like, it was disorganized.
You know what, though? I'm sorry, but she let you know who she really was. Oh, because the red flag is the ones that don't let you go over whenever, oh, I can't come over. Oh, no, it's dirty. Because the one before the last, I'm going to call her Cat Lady. When I was with the Cat Lady one, first time I was going to go over, no, you can't come in. No, please, not today. You can come over tomorrow after I clean. Okay. But you know what? I should have seen that as a red flag because when I walked into her apartment the first time, clean. Whoa. I was like, what were you worried about? Like, it was so clean, so clean everywhere, right? I popped up one time unannounced. Oh my God. Like, I went into her room. I never, from that point on, never seen the floor in her room. Never. Clothes on top of shit. Like, I don't even know, hangers, scarves, like whatever. Like, it's like her shelf was the flow. Like, and that's how it was the rest of the relationship. It's like that first time.
Her like true color. She's accepted me for who I am.
Be trying to catfish your ass with how they live, and so that's why too. If they don't let you just walk in their house without being announced, red flag.
That's true. Okay, so you know what? You're right. I'll give you that right there. But this is my thing where I fucked up. No, it's not that dirty. No, it's not. Right. So now it's like, it's okay. That's
called denial.
Yeah. It's okay to be dirty. Right. So I already gave that, right? It's okay to be dirty and disorganized and whatever. So as soon as she showed it, she's like, okay, well, you said this basically. Yeah. Right. So I zipped my mouth. I did not say anything. I was like, well, you have a lot of things. So then I started taking a tour of the museum. Right. How long has that been there? And so what ended up happening was, I actually ended up moving into that room temporarily before we property and stuff. So I was like I was so uneasy because I'm a very organized, everything has to have a place. And so I was going through things and I was like, well, let me organize your stuff. And you know what? This is the thing about people like her or hoarders and stuff like that. It's when you start touching their stuff, you create anxiety because now they don't know where their stuff is at.
Yeah, because everything's in the place where they know.
They know, yeah.
I knew where they threw it. I threw it under the bed.
I can't tell you how much fortune cookie papers I found.
They're in the corner over there.
I kid you not, over 50 pieces of fortune cookies.
You counted?
I kid you not. And more than 50, I guarantee you that.
Maybe those were all sentimental to her.
Well, yeah, let me get into that right now. So it was more like, I mean, Steph, there was cotton, like dust bunnies. And I was like, hey, like, and I was being a smart ass, right? And I was like, hey, so you collect, dust bunnies? She's like, actually, that's cotton from when I picked the field. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, right? Oh, okay. right? And, her cousin said it perfectly. She was like, I was like, yeah, she has a lot of stuff. I only if you guys could see my face. She has a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? She's like, well, every piece of, every item in this room is a memory. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
I wonder if she's going to be a hoarder when she grows up.
Probably.
Like her whole house. You know that show Hoarders where they show you? Yeah, Fire Hazard.
She had a lot of pictures of, her friends, and then pictures of them when they were like young in their first grade and stuff like that. Pictures of.
She have what's it called? Movie tickets taped to the wall.
Yeah, and then she had all her medals and pictures
How did I know?
and stuff, and there was a lot of stuff there, a lot of stuff, and when you told me to be careful, I feel like I ate all those words
because you don't want to believe it. No, it's fine. They're cool. We're gonna get along fine.
And this is the thing about knowing that it's like when somebody collects things and has collection. There was pins. She collected pins, stickers, ribbons, everything that you can think of. But you have to be careful too. Like when you go into a relationship like that, where you have somebody, your partner, that collects things, like be mindful. Those are their personal belongings. Those are their memories. Those are things that, those are hobbies that they like to do. So don't ever call their belongings junk, trash, or shit. I didn't do any of that, but I mean, still, hey, move your shit, But like, it was like, hey, your stuff, like, let's put this, organize this. Like, I don't mind. Do you need this? And obviously she was very like, leave it there. But I'm like, and I honestly, Steph, I warned her. I said, look, if we ever live together, I'm letting you know that. And it was like an argument. Like, why can't I have my stuff? Like, I don't mind you having your stuff. Just be organized about it. Yeah. I don't care if you collect boogers. Yeah, I do. I collect boogers on the wall. Yeah, but that's nasty. Like, I don't know. That's gross. Like somebody somewhere in my life, somebody had a booger collection. Gross. That's true. You go to people's houses and you see their walls and you look at the toilet.
That's why I'm telling you, go in unannounced. If you are listening and you are thinking about moving in with someone, knock, knock, knock.
Smell the pillows and smell the sheets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. Take your socks off and rub your feet on their carpet. See if it's stale. If it's like stale and not soft, it's nasty. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, and look at the basura and the trash. Damn, we're all like with the white gloves and shit, goggles, PPE and shit. So I mean, like, all right. So let's say that you saw what you needed to see, and you're like, okay, I like this person, moving to the next level. Let's move in, but you got to talk about finances.
Yeah, it's super unsexy, but you still need to talk about it.
And I feel like a lot of people get personal about it. So, like, let's just make this really clear. Like, when you move in, you make that decision to move in, it's a step up. You're moving towards a serious commitment. Yeah. We can't downplay that right there. No, you can't just say, oh, well, he let her move in because, she's my baby mama and, blah, blah. Or you can't be like, oh, well, he's my baby daddy and I had to move his broke ass in. Like, no, no, you did not. You have a choice. Exactly. And if sometimes we have, children, I don't like to say accidents because you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But let's say like an unplanned pregnancy. That's a good one, right? Yeah. And just because you have it unplanned doesn't mean you got to move them right away in to make it work. Don't do that. Take that opportunity to get to know them and see about making that decision.
I think even especially with kids is when you should have the discussion like the most. Like it's the most important because now you're going to talk about like, oh, well, who's going to buy the kids this? Who's going to buy the kids that?
Yeah, and we'll get into that like later, but it's just important right now that you're going over the finances. Like you got to consider, does your partner have a job? And if they don't, like, you are going to automatically be responsible for most of the bills. That's something that doesn't need to be, said, you're going to be responsible. If I'm coming into this relationship and you don't have a job and I'm asking you to move in, how am I not going to expect to like pay for a majority of the bills, So,
and to be honest, I'm not going to lie, but I asked their credit score. I'm not going to lie. I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. I ask people their credit score and it's funny because probably the last two before the one I'm with now, we're kind of weirded out about it. What do you mean my credit score? I want to know your credit score because I want to know if you're responsible. I'm not going to be the only one responsible. You got to know when you're sharing finances with someone, they affect you. So if you're going to choose to be with an irresponsible person, I'm not saying that that's a no-go, but I have to be aware of it. I need to be aware. Oh, okay, 540. All right, probably not going to be the most responsible person. You know what I mean?
Or the most reliable.
Or most reliable. But okay. Or not even working on your credit. You don't even know what that is. Okay, well that has to change too.
Oh, wow.
You know, like to me, because I take that very seriously. And what's your debt? You know, all that stuff. I think all that stuff is important when moving into with somebody. And I talk about that more than cleanliness because I don't really care. I'm not picky. But
okay. No, well, that's true. Because I was going to ask you that too. Like, what do you think about knowing your partner's income? Because I think that's important.
I think that too. I think it's weird when people live together and I'm like, oh, well, how much do they make? I don't know. I've never seen their check. What do you mean you've never seen their check? Like, I'm sorry, but if you guys are living together, that privacy is not there anymore. Like, you need to know what they have in their account, because what if you're stressing out about a bill and they have a bunch of money and you could just be like, hey, can you spot me 100, or vice versa? You guys should be there for each other, especially when you're moving in.
All right. Okay. I got a question for you.
All right,
what about sharing bank accounts?
Fuck no. Unless you're married, I would highly suggest you do not share bank accounts. And even when you're married, share bank account for the bills and still have your own on the side. That's
I agree.
Protection. You got to protect yourself. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely.
I know you don't want to believe that we're never breaking up.
But people change. There's experiences that you have, and you know what
just
I mean?
be realistic and smart. Stop being so emotional. Okay, it's realistic.
Yeah, and as far as that goes, as far as finances and stuff, like, you got to consider renting and buying property.
Yeah.
Like, and let me tell you, like she said, like, if you're not married, put your fucking name on it. Like, that responsibility falls on that person, but also too, you got to give yourself rights. And like, one thing I told my son, I was like, baby, my love,
baby boy.
Yeah. I wish somebody would have told me this. I said, and to be honest, like, I'm very private about my things. He doesn't need to know like what I've been through or what I'm going through or whatever. You know what I mean? So I talked to him about relationships, and I said, honey, I said, there is going to come a time in your life where you have your girlfriend, your partner, or like friends in general that want to borrow money. And I told them, number one, I said, don't allow people to borrow money that you're not willing to lose. That's what I told them. It's fair, right?
Even family.
Yeah, even family. So I go, it doesn't matter. Okay. I said, but do not allow people to borrow a certain amount that you're not willing to lose. And of course, like, between you and I, or in general, like, I always consider when letting somebody borrow money, like what's the reason for it, you know? And if you're borrowing money and I say, hey, what do you need it for? You better not give me the answer. Well, I don't have to tell you. Bitch,
best believe you
know,
do.
because it's my money. It's a loan. I need to know your financial situation, and I get it. It's uncomfortable talking about it, but remember, you know, you took the first step of admitting, like, hey, I need money. I need to borrow money or whatever, you know? The second thing I told my son is, I said, don't ever put your name on somebody's car.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Because, you know.
You
know why? Because at the end of the day, my thing is, it's like, whether it ends bad or not, it doesn't matter. Like, to me, partners will guilt trip you. People will manipulate you. Oh, well, buy me a car. Oh, well, I don't have a car. You don't want to help me. And I said, this is one thing, because try to argue with me with this if I told you. So you tell me, oh, well, you don't love me.
Please, I need help.
Yeah,
I need a car.
Like, hey, babe.
You don't love me then?
Yeah, so then my response would be like, look, it's not that I don't love you, but it's
no, wait, you don't trust me? What is it? What is it, Sabina?
Look, it's not
so
any of those things.
You don't trust me.
However, like, God forbid it, like, you know, something happens to you or you die, like,
then what? It's just your car. Who cares?
It's I can't afford my payment and your payment.
Give it back.
Well, that's a good one. I didn't think about
Give it back to the bank.
No, you can't do that.
Give it back to the car.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. So I'm just gonna tell you, like, listen, I can afford my car payment, and with you not being there, that's income that's unaccounted for.
Sell it.
Sell your car.
Sell the car.
I mean, I can
sell the car for the price of the loan.
No matter what, how long it's gonna take, I'm still gonna, because the car devalues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as it devalues, I might not get the price that I'm asking for. So in return, that money's gonna come out of my pocket. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not putting my motherfucking name on that car.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you this right now. People will say whatever you want, and when you are together and everything's gravy, baby, yeah, you're going to think, oh, they will never do that. They won't take my car. They won't do that. They won't fight. They know it's my car. They know I've been paying for
They're
it.
not gonna
They
tow
know
it.
I drive it all the time. We bought this car for me. They know that. Until they don't, until you don't matter anymore, until you piss them off. And then now all that shit that you guys discussed when you're together goes out the window. Let me tell you right now, I did that. I bought a car for somebody, but I was smart. I put it under my name only. And I said, look, it's your car. Boom. It's your car. And because I know myself, I'm not going to do that to someone. I'm not going to take away their car when I know it's theirs. So boom. However, I also know that if they were to get rid of that car, I would be able to make those car payments. So I made sure it was low enough that, okay, I can handle your car payment and my car payment if you ever do something stupid. And guess what? They did. They gave the car back. I don't want it anymore. Here, then fine. Okay, cool. Boom. What did I do? I sold it. But I was fine with that because it was completely under my control. And I like that. I like being in control, and you should too. If it's going to mess up your credit, your finances, you need to take that extra step. And again, it's not sexy talking about these things with your partner, but it's the smart thing to do. Like Judge Judy says, always put a contract. If always sign a contract. I watch Judge Judy every day. So there you go.
So the third thing that I told my son, the last one I said was, put your name on the property. Make sure if you're putting your name on it, you can afford the payment based on your sole income, babe. Like, don't account for their income. And, and I go, listen, I said, and that's one thing, that's one lesson that I learned. Like,
you're talking about if you buy a property with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Put both your names on
it. It's different. If you're if they're saying, hey, let's get a property together, either you put it solely under yours or you put it with their name. But make sure that when you're qualifying for it, that you can afford that mortgage, you know? And that's one thing that, honestly, that was the biggest lesson I fucking learned.
Sucker.
I know. Putting a down payment and then
if you're gonna put a large amount of money on a property, you better have your name on that, because legally it is not yours.
I know.
Legally, you are not obligated to any of that money back or nothing.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Just kidding. Man, fuck you. So anyways, that was the biggest lesson, to walk away from something, like that.
You invested in.
Yeah, because that wasn't the goal. Look, and that's perfectly said right there. Like you said, you never know what's going to happen. But the plan in that situation, because people were like, well, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you? Listen, because I trusted her. I trusted her, and that was the plan. Okay, hey, we're going to the Bay Area, right? And, obviously we need to come up with an additional income. Why not rent this property out? And we got a good deal. Why? Because the realtor was, my best friend. He was a really good friend. Oh, well, best friend. He was really cool. So we got a really great deal on it. And he asked me if I was going to put my name on the property. I said no. And, he gave some advice and stuff. And I was like, no, like, we're going to be good, because then, like, as a first-time buyer, like, I'll qualify for more, because there's a lot more programs offered to first-time home buyers, right? So that's what I did. And surely enough, things happen, people change, and, they go back on their word sometimes, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. And that's a good story about that. And my story is kind of like, opposite of that. So mine is, I had my property already. Well, I bought my property by myself, bought my house by myself. And the last person I was with them for a while, and they would hint, oh, I just feel like this isn't my home because my name's not on it. Skirt. Don't care. Don't care. You're not.
Steph did not tell her that.
Whatever I said, I can make up what I said now, so it doesn't matter. What matters is I didn't do it, because I knew that would be stupid. This is what I worked hard for. This was my money. None of this money was hers. She didn't help me worth shit. It wasn't her credit. It wasn't her down payment. It was all from me. So guess what? It's all mine, because I'm protecting my assets. Because at the end of the day, I didn't know if I was going to be with her forever. And look, I wasn't. So what a fucked up situation it would have been if I put her name on this house. I would have been so mad at myself, because I worked so hard for this just so it could be ripped out from under me from somebody that didn't do shit to get it.
Damn.
I would have been hella mad. So don't do that either. If you have your own property and you established yourself prior to a relationship, don't let them talk you into that bullshit. If you don't feel at home, then go buy your own house. You know what I'm saying? No, at the end of the day, go buy your own house. Like, and I'm not like, for me, like, I always want this one to be my house, but I'm not opposed to the next house. Okay, let's put it under your name. Like, you know, and so that there's a security for both of us. But nah, hell nah.
No, and I agree.
Unless you're married, and even then, I don't even know about even if you're married. If you're married, you got an asset before marriage, keep that asset to yourself.
You know what? And actually, you know, going up on that, like, I noticed that, you know, as the relationship went on and being there and stuff, obviously I treated it like I was my house because I maintained it.
Well, yeah.
Cleaning, everything, painting. Yeah, you know what? It was my house, you know? But I feel like also, too, like, the more I started to realize, hey, I'm pouring in money into this, and what am I getting out? Like, you know, things aren't going the way they're supposed to, so why am I going to keep on investing? Like, I was pouring money in there, you know? So with that said, you have to be transparent with everything. Like, sorry, you lost the privacy of being broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're responsible for paying the light bill,
I'm broke. I need gas money.
Yeah. If you're responsible for paying the light and you don't have the money, don't wait till the power's off to say something. Like, one of my friends told me that her man did that, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Dude, like, he must have not been paying the fucking bill for quite a while for them to turn off the fucking power. That's embarrassing." And she was pissed off. She's like, that's embarrassing. I was like, I get it. It's not under your name, but, you know, I'm not trying to, like, you know, downplay it, but dude, come on.
You know what, though? I knew someone that it was under their name and they did the same thing. So I'm just like, dude, you should at least be respectable enough. Like, if it is under your partner's name and you're not paying it, let them know. Don't be a dumb fuck.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And not just with the light, but, like, you know, the HOA fees. I remember, you know, this was my story to tell, but she wasn't transparent about the HOA fees. And now I'm getting a notice, you know, about, you know, the homeowners association placing a pre-lien on the condo. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? And that right there is a discussion that caused problems. I'm like, why couldn't you be honest with me? Why couldn't you tell me, like, here I am spending money and we're heading out on these adventures and stuff. There's money to do that, but there's also money to help with HOA fees. But you need to talk to me. You can't be prideful about it.
Yeah, that's why I think once you live with someone, like, you can't be embarrassed about those things. Even if you are embarrassed, you can't keep those little secrets to yourself.
Yeah, you have a partner to make sure that you know, they help you out.
It's a team. You're a team.
And at the end of the day, no one likes to end up in debt. You know what I mean? So,
both people should be looking out for each other.
Exactly.
You know, building together and all that stuff.
But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, consider what you have had, what you have, and the work and the effort that you've put in to maintain that credit score. And
at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a one benefit. Both people should be benefiting from it in some way. I'm not saying you guys are going to benefit in the same way, not all the time, but most of the time there should be an equal amount of benefit that comes into if you guys are going to move in together. And
just take those precautions is what I'm saying. Don't put anything under your name or take over debt, or, you know, I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not allow them to max out your credit card with their law enforcement uniforms and never pay it back. So I think the next thing that we're going to talk about is very important, because I feel like this is where all the issues occur.
It is. The chores.
Yeah, and the responsibilities is what I mean by chores is responsibilities.
This is what I was going back to in the beginning about don't assume. I mean, it has to be a conversation. Even if they're taking it upon themselves to clean out the fridge every time and they don't say anything to you, don't assume that. I guess that's what they want to keep doing, because it's not. Sometimes they blow up someday. You never clean out the fridge. Oh my bad. I didn't even know that it was an issue, to be honest. Like,
it's a quick fix. Like, hey babe, like, I cleaned out the refrigerator the past 5 months. Like, do you think you can do me a favor and clean it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
But my thing is, when it comes to asking, like, about chores, like, look, we can have assigned chores if that's what works out for you. Like, your job is always but not to say that if I went passing by the trash, like, oh, well, that's Steph's job to throw out the trash. Like, I'm not going to do it because it's Steph's job. No, you see the trash is fucking full. Take it out.
I mean, even if you did see it overflowing and you don't want to take it out because it's my job, then just say, yo, Steph, the trash needs to be taken out. Okay, I'll go do that then. Instead of letting it fester and be like, I wonder how long it's going to be until she throws the trash out.
Or until she scrubs the toilet.
I'm just going to be mean and give her attitude until she throws the trash out.
We don't read minds here. We don't read minds. You know what I mean? And not everybody has common sense. And so keep that into consideration. And I feel like when it comes to cleaning standards, like, let's say that, like, somebody is complaining about you not cleaning the fridge or refrigerator, and they say, hey, can you clean it out? And you're like, yeah. And then you wipe it down, right? But you missed the spot or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that person should already know how you clean. And if you're looking to have it extra sparkly clean, like, show your partner Or if not, just take it upon yourself. Because honestly, when it comes to the restroom, like, I don't mind somebody picking up, but there's a way that I like to feel clean in the restroom. Like, you can't just wipe it with water, soap on the gunners. No. So what you do?
No.
Nasty ass.
Clorox wipe.
Yeah. That's worse, dude. Get a scrubber and just scrub off everything.
Like that? Also, too, I think you have to be reasonable in the fact that open your eyes. Just because you're the one cleaning the fridge out all the time, are you the one mowing the lawn? Are you the one cleaning the gutters? Are you the one pressure washing the house? No. So take all that into consideration. I'm so tired of cleaning out the fridge. Okay, well then come mow this lawn with a trade. Like, it has to be reasonable. Like, you have to see the bigger picture. Don't just be so narrow-minded and look about what you're doing and what's bothering you. It's a bigger picture.
I agree, and it should be split. It's never going to be fair. It's never going to be
fair in the fact that you washed dishes yesterday, so I washed dishes today.
Oh my gosh. Or there's some people that are okay with it. I'll cook and you clean. Some people don't like to cook at all. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I love to cook. But I'm also not a messy cook. Like, I clean as I go, as I cook, you know? So
you know what? I've noticed that a lot of people don't like doing laundry, and I don't mind doing laundry. I do the laundry. And I'm fine with that. Like, I'm just like, cool. Like, you just want me to do laundry? Yeah, okay, cool. I can do laundry.
Yeah, so you got to figure that out for yourselves. And, that's a discussion too. And if you don't like the way they clean things, there's a way to go about it. How long did you leave the trash can? You know what I mean? Like, no, don't, But I feel like, that's something important to go over.
But I feel like that's a big deal breaker too, because a lot of the time, again, people don't communicate to each other and what's bugging them. They just let it build up, and then they blow up one day, and then the person that they blow up on gets offended too, because it's like, yo, you didn't even give me an opportunity to fix it because you just blew up on me instead of it gradually happening. Hey, Steph, can you just start doing this? Okay, sure. Can you start picking up your socks? No, I'm not.
Yeah, so. I said, at the end of the day, you got to remember your team. And with that said, teammates fight and argue.
I just want you to know right now, too, I leave my socks everywhere, so don't ever say shit.
like I said, you guys are a team, but like most teams, teammates fight and argue. And we know it's because of our expectations and standards that we have for one another. And because you can't stand your partner's pet peeves. That's what it comes down to. And that's the next thing we're going to talk about. We all have pet peeves,
Yeah. I don't.
It's either going to make you guys or break you guys. No.
I don't have any pet peeves.
You're lying.
I'm being serious. I'm sorry. I'm not trying.
If you dated a woman and she didn't take a shower every day and she smelled like butt, would that be an issue? That's a pet peeve. She smells like butt.
No, I like the way butt smells.
You're fucking
like their butt.
sick.
If I'm with them, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I'm with them, I like the way their butt smells. So I don't care. The stinkier the better. Sorry. I don't have
Okay. All right. I'm gonna throw a man thing at you.
No, I'm not with a man though.
Yeah. But I'm saying a woman, but toenail clippings, clips her toenails and leaves them there.
I don't care.
You're fucking disgusting.
I don't care. That doesn't bug me at all.
So I'm
being serious. Nothing bugs me. I'm not exaggerating. Like, nothing bugs me. So I don't know why. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but nothing bugs me. You can do anything. I don't care. Leave your dirty caca underwear somewhere. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Stink up the bathroom.
If you, to me,
blow it up
to
and
me, this is how I see it. And I know a lot of people are gonna disagree. Okay, I know this already, obviously, but to me, your home is your sanctuary. So I'm not gonna disturb that peace. Like, I know it doesn't go like that for a lot of people, and they, oh no, there's boundaries, dirty. You live there too. Yeah, but it doesn't bug me because I'm happy that you're able to just be yourself in your home. You're in the privacy of your own home. So if you want to act however you want to act, you can do it. Go ahead, say it.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna bug me. Go.
Okay. Leaving toys and you're stepping on them barefooted.
No, I don't care. Done it. Been there, done that already.
That doesn't bother you.
No, I tell the kids, hey, pick up your toys.
And it keeps occurring because no matter what, you can tell them, hey, pick it up, and they'll listen, right? Mm-hmm. But
that's just a normal kid thing. Like, that's not normal. That doesn't have to do with my significant other. You know?
But that's the kid's peaceful home. That's their sanctuary too. So why why can't they leave their toys wherever they want? It's a free world.
They can when they're adults. But as kids, they need to learn how to just pick up.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, like, there's pet peeves.
I don't have any. That's not a pet. So see, look, when I
toys out or
no,
not,
it's not a pet peeve. It's I'm correcting them because I just know that I'm supposed to parent them. I'm teaching them, but it doesn't bug me. Like,
it bug you that the toys keep every single day. I'm not saying because that doesn't. I know that doesn't happen right now. I'm saying I know, but an example of something constantly. Let's say these kids weren't.
That would be a behavioral problem though for me. It would just be me having to teach them, oh, you have to pick up after yourself, but it wouldn't be a pet peeve for me. No. I'm telling you, I've lived with people and nothing I've come across bugs me. I'm just telling you that right now.
Okay.
Maybe I've lived with, I don't know, decent people that
No.
All right.
No, you know what pet peeve is? Complaining about things being cleaned a certain way.
Yeah, but
that's pet peeve. The expectation of you having to clean it a certain way.
I just don't like when they get mad at me if they don't tell me. Like I said, just don't blow up on me. Like, no, tell me, hey Steph, I want you to clean the fridge out. Okay, I'll do that. Let me know when it's time to clean the fridge out and I'll do it. No, I shouldn't have to tell you. Okay, then that's my pet peeve because I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you. So
Steph has a pet peeve.
My pet peeve is the way you handle situations that are pet peeves to you.
Mm-hmm. In your home, in your guys' home.
How you handle your pet peeves in our home, yes, will be my pet peeve if you do it disrespectfully. Absolutely.
So I feel like in a way, with that said, like you have to learn to accept and compromise. Sometimes you might not want to be picking up Steph's stinky socks everywhere, but Steph's yeah, exactly. So I mean, either you accept
leave them there. I'll pick it up eventually.
Eventually with them crispy.
Yeah, I'll wait till I at least get 5 pairs.
Crispy, crusty.
I'll get 5 pairs and then I'll put them in a pile and then I'll pick them up. Why am I going to pick up one at a time? I'm just going to have to do it again tomorrow.
Oh, for the week, you know? Like, okay, so, I mean, the biggest one that you freaking said about is Steph knows, what's my pet peeve?
Dirty trash.
Okay, but tell the story about how I don't like
Okay, so, look, Sabina's going to walk into her house right there, and even if her trash can is on the other side of the house, she's going to smell it. She's going to take a big whiff when she steps to her door. She's going to go, putting her hands on her hips and getting a big whiff, too. Not a small one, not a little... No, she's going to breathe in all the oxygen she can right there. And if she smells a hint of trash, she's going to blow up.
No,
that's why every time, before Sabina doesn't know this, but every time Sabina comes over, I throw my trash.
You're lying.
I did. I just ask her. I did. Every time. Every time she comes over to record, I throw my trash. Why? Because I know Sabina's going to walk through that door and go... And to me, it's not hard to do. I can throw the trash out. It's reasonable. It's reasonable.
It's my face is red right now, dude.
It's reasonable for me. It doesn't take a lot of time, and I know that it bugs her. So guess what? I'm gonna do that, even though she doesn't live here. I'm gonna respect that.
You know what? Somebody said that they take their kids a bath before I come over.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they said that because they'll run around or whatever. And I said, hey, where are the kids at? And they're like, oh, they're taking a bath. And I'm like, and that wasn't once, that was twice. And she literally, my best friend told me, she's like, yeah, when you come over, I make sure that, you know, my daughter's all washed up and everything, because I will say something. Hey, why does her nose look like this? And why does she have dirt on her nose? And her mucus are dried up from yesterday and stuff. I do, because take care of them. What's so hard about getting a wiping them down?
Yeah.
You know?
That's
but
hilarious.
Damn, it's fucking embarrassing.
But yeah, no, simple things are reasonable. If it's reasonable, I'm fine.
I agree. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, we all have those pet peeves. I think another one for me is just, look, there's 2 restrooms. There's 2 restrooms in the house. That means that don't blow up the main one, you know, in our shared room. Blow up the public one. Nobody uses that. We hardly have guests.
I blow up any maybe. I don't care.
Do you blow up the restroom like when your partner's taking a shower? I hate that shit.
No, not recently, but I wouldn't care. Like, I wouldn't even care if they blew it up. Actually, I like when they take shits in front of me.
You're fucking nasty, dude. Okay, like, my thing is...
I like people... You know what? I like the person that I'm with to not be embarrassed about anything. Like, nothing. Everything's... hey, it's natural. Fart, shit. Fart,
yeah,
shit,
okay, well, I mean, obviously, like, I'm lactose.
If you're in the shower with me, pee in the shower with me. I don't care. I don't care.
Look, I'm lactose,
let the pee get on my feet. I don't care.
I mean, I'm upfront about it. Like, hey, I'm lactose. I can't really have cheese. And I get gassy, bloated, and I have to take a deuce. But, like, I feel like it's respect. For me, that's respect.
It's
like, hey,
respect.
I don't want... Steph, I don't want to take a shower in my peaceful time, blah, 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 getting down in the shower, dropping
I guess it's okay. Then,
turds.
okay, you're right. That doesn't disturb my peace. I'm saying only if it's the person I'm with. If it's the person I'm with, nothing disgusts me about them. Nothing. They could do the grossest thing that you can imagine, and it will not disgust me. Nothing.
Dang, you're true, you know, example of unconditional love. I feel like, you know. But yeah, going back for if they're asking for something reasonable, you know, reasonable is to be fair. And to me, I'm asking for something reasonable. Like, go blow up the other restroom. Why do you have to drop a deuce while I'm in there? I get it. Like, hey, somebody's in the restroom. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm ready to show my true colors today. You know? So the next thing I wanted us to talk about is the consideration of kids. And this one's tricky because we got opinions. And I feel like one of the things is, like, it just depends on the situation. Like, it depends. Like, am I going in with this with my kids and your kids?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's a big difference.
Are they going to share rooms? Are they going to have different rooms?
You gotta think about it this, like, there's a difference between Brady Bunch and only one partner having kids. You know what I mean? You got kids, I got kids. Now we have 50 kids. It's a village now.
Yeah,
so and you know that having kids, your kids and my kids, it's going to create issues. Yeah. The more people there are involved and stuff.
It's just natural.
Yeah, and it is natural, right? And I feel like you have to be aware of the parents' scheduling. And that's the other co-parents as well, their situations. Because if there's baby daddy drama, chances are you're with that person, you're going to have baby daddy drama. Yep. If it's baby mama, you're going to have baby mama drama. Yep. And you know, and if that person that you're with doesn't know how to take responsibilities for their kids and do things, guess what? That tells you you're going to have to take responsibility of his kids even more so than him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you got a deadbeat baby daddy, sorry, you're going to have to take care of their kids.
And if you have a crazy baby mama, like, whew, good luck with that. That girl plays, you know? So I think you have to consider that, because being with somebody with kids means more responsibilities. And then making a kid is more responsibility. So once you move in, you guys may not have a kid then, but later on, boom, another kid, you know? So you got to remember that having kids means more responsibilities. Theirs, yours, together, you know? And then even on top of that, even if you don't have kids, you coming into the relationship, you're going to have more responsibilities on top of having a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
And,
again, these are like all the things you have to take into consideration before moving in. This is when you like, what did I say in the beginning? You peek how they're living. Like, you see their kids. Hey, maybe you look at their kids. Maybe they got badass kids.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So, I mean, I dated. You remember that?
Yeah.
I dated a girl with a 3-year-old, and like you said, looking for the red flags. And this kid did not have a bedtime. So she was like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and she would be crying stuff like she would be, you know, that pterodactyl cry?
Yeah.
And I remember, okay, I keep saying names here. So I remember, let me get this. I remember having my son over, and he looked at me like,
you heard the pterodactyl cry?
Yes. And he's like, mom, please, like.
He's all, that ain't my sister. He's all, that ain't my sister.
No, I joked around and I go like this. I go, hey, you always wanted a sister. And he goes, Mom. And they would hang out, right? They would hang out. Like, she took him on like to go get ice cream shows. She wanted to see how he was, right? Because she has to
know the kids.
Yeah, she has to test out my kid. I have to test out her kid. But obviously, with the pterodactyl crying and stuff, I was just like, the way she was responding, she's like, I just can't put her to sleep. And I'm like looking at her like, because I'm mean. I'm not mean.
She's strict.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's already 11 o'clock and the kid's not in bed and she's crying. So what are you going to do about it, basically? So what I did was like, mind you, we weren't even dating that long. And I was like, do you mind? So she's like, what do you basically mean? Like, do you mind if I go handle her?
Whoop that ass up.
Yeah, I was like, no, just kidding. No, I went in there, grabbed her, and she was like kicking and stuff. And I grabbed her. And then I started rocking her, patting her on the butt right there, and singing to her, and she fell asleep.
Yeah.
And she was like,
but that's a good point though, is you have to see how they parent, because a lot of the times if your parenting styles don't match up, you guys are gonna have a conflict.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. So I ended up putting her daughter to sleep and stuff like that, and she's like, how did you do that? Like, I'm like, it's basic, she just wants to be rocked. And she did like tear out like the freaking charger. She would throw stuff, like she's like, she does not want to go to bed. So right off the bat, like seeing my son react like, mom, and I looked at him too. I was like, either. So I was like,
red
that's
flag.
That was red flag. I was like, I'm not doing this every day. And it wasn't one time that it happened. It was multiple times to happen. And I was just like, yeah, of course. Have I always wanted a daughter? Of course. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Not a bratty daughter. Not a bratty daughter.
Not a bratty daughter, but I feel like you said, like you step in and you correct that behavior. Yeah. But it's like, how much are you willing to correct? And is that parent willing to allow you to correct? And
that goes into it too. I think before you even move in with someone that has kids, is you have to get to know the kids. Like, it's not just you and your partner anymore. The kids matter too. and they want to be comfortable with who they're living with. Like both of you want to be comfortable with the kid, and the kids should be comfortable with you.
Yeah, and that's
so like you got to build that bond first, because then I think that's the hard, not the hardest part, but that's the important part about living with kids is they're if they respect you, they're gonna listen to you. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they try to force their authority, whereas it's more like, no, they want to see what you're about first, and if they respect you, then they're gonna listen to you, regardless if you're their biological parent or not.
No, and I agree with you when it comes to that whole spiel on like having kids and meeting kids for the first time, but also too, like the person that's moving in, or the person that you guys are deciding to make that big commitment or that move to, like, it's a package deal. And that's one thing that I'm big on, that I've always told, hey, I'm a package deal. That means my expectation for you, if we move in, like, you're going to be a parent. Bottom line, you're a step parent. So I expect you to take on some of the responsibilities. Help me out, because I'm not moving you for you to say like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. Bitch.
Yeah. You know what it is.
Yeah. You know what it is already. So I'm not going to sit here and be surprised I have a kid. No, you need to get to know him. And I'm not interested in being with just a person. I'm interested in being with that person who wants to be with us.
Yeah.
It's not me and that person. It's me, that person, and my child. We're a family. We're a unit. I'm not interested in having me and my son and then me and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or like the same thing, like dating somebody with a kid. I'm not interested in it. It's not you and your kid. It's you and your kid and us as well. Like, we shouldn't be treating the kids any different just because those are your kid. That's because
everyone gets treated equally.
No,
equally. All kids. If you're talking about you have a kid and they have a kid and they're coming in, all the kids are going to be treated equally, and it's not going to be a divide. Like, we're a family.
Exactly. You know? But see, that's the thing. When you have a Brady Bunch family, like, it's going to be hard because you're going to have all these issues, and then a lot of parents are very protective, whether their kids are in the right or the wrong, especially in the wrong. No, they're always.
Well, I just think too, at the same time too, since we're on the topic of kids, is that if you're with someone with kids and they co-parent, is you have to respect their co-parenting as well, because you have to remember that you are not the parent. Like, you are their parent, but you are not their biological parent. They already have two parents if they have two parents in their life, so you need to respect how they co-parent. And
I agree.
You don't give them shit for that. Oh, why you say? Oh, no, that you let them. Like, they are supposed to talk to their co-parent. They are the ones co-parenting. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I know Sabina thinks differently, but I don't think that the partners should come in between the co-parents making decisions about the kids. No, those are still your guys' kids. I didn't make babies with them like you did. So like you guys need to discuss that together. And I think that the conflicts is when other people start telling oh, well, you shouldn't let her do this. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you should have this. No, it's not about control at that point. I know that. And I don't like that. Like, stay professional.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that no matter what, that's a big, big decision that you need to make, especially when you're moving in with a person that has kids, or your kids coming together with other kids. It's a package deal. So you have to compromise, communicate, and work as a team. And the purpose is to make each other's lives more efficient, more easier. Because if you're on the same page and, okay, we can send our kids to the same school, whatever. If you're allowed to do that, do it. Why not? You know what I mean? Make it easier on you guys. Well, it's not necessarily what the kids want, because you're the adults here. You're making the decisions. They're making the decisions. You guys have kids together. So try and be reasonable when you're asking for things, and compromise for the best interest of
the children.
Yes. And it's always good to, like, hey, we can't always give the kids what they want. And there's going to be changes that need to be made. Well, we have to move you to this school. And obviously, like, it's going to cause issues, but you know what? That's a good life experience for them. Learning to socialize in a different environment and make new friends. Survival of the fittest.
Stupid.
I'm just kidding. But
okay.
We don't really want to spend too much on the whole stepchildren, because it can be discussed as a topip later on. Yeah. But I feel like that's just the gist of it.
In itself.
So the last thing that we want to talk about is privacy. And it's a big one.
So do you have privacy or not when you're moving in with someone?
No, everything's open to, everything is...
You don't have no privacy.
It's open view and open to search and seizure.
What does that mean?
So to me, no matter what, you lose privacy. You lose privacy.
About what?
About everything. Because everything's all free game.
So I can see your phone right now.
Yes, you would be able to see that. But see, this is the thing. I think that there's no privacy, but there's boundaries and respect for those boundaries. Because at the end of the day, if I'm on your phone account or whatever, I have access to look at who you're calling all day long.
That's true.
And text messages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's open. It's open to me. But it's the intent and it's the motive that goes behind it and how I respond and how I react to you when I do look at those things and for reasons why. So to me, like, just because I have access to your phone or just because I have access to it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like invade it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I believe like anything can be searched and seized at any time, right? Open view. I'm not gonna do that because I don't see the point, because I respect you and I respect your privacy towards your messages, because
I think that there is some still privacy. I don't think it should just be like super like that. I mean, it's going to be hard to have privacy when you're living with somebody realistically. But I'm saying if someone says like, oh, can I get some privacy? Oh, I'm on this call. Like, can I get some privacy? Like, whatever. I don't think
it needs to be respected.
It has to be respected. If it's vocalized that, hey, you know what? Can I have some alone time today? Or like, hey, I just want to kind of hang out by myself today. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's reasonable. Everybody needs that. Everyone wants their alone time or needs their own space. And I think that's fine. It's, again, like, don't wait till you blow up about it. Vocalize it. Hey, I need some alone time. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that if there's no secrets or whatever, I feel like don't go and set yourself up by invading, in a sense, people's privacy. I get it. It's open and everything, but discuss it before you blow up, like you said. There's no need to see, oh, well, you didn't tell me this or you didn't tell me that. Like, no, like, don't do that. Don't wait to blow up. My thing is like, you got to also understand that your diaries, your files, your debts, everything that's coming to, like, that's open to
diary.
Some people be reading your stuff.
No,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't.
But that's what I mean. I think there's privacy to a certain extent, because like
there should be, right?
Yeah, there should be. But because if I had a diary, I don't have a diary. But if I did have
she does. It's pink and it's a Lisa Frank.
And I put a little lock on it, and I have a little fake key for it. But no, if I had a diary, I wouldn't want someone to read my stuff. No,
of course not. But I'm saying
something for yourself.
I agree with that. I agree that like that's your time or privacy. But to me, there are people that can read your diary and not let you know that.
If you're saying you believe that there's no privacy, then you're saying it's okay to read people's diaries.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
How's that not, though? That's privacy.
I'm not. I'm just saying you have no privacy. You don't have privacy. Everything is open stuff. But the fact that I choose to respect your space, that I have the ability, of course I have the ability to check your phone anytime I want.
No, well, if we're talking about a diary, I put a lock on it.
If you put a lock on it and that's
You're gonna bust my lock?
Maybe there's people out there that will bust
I wouldn't like that though. Like,
exactly,
to me, that would be a deal breaker. If I can't.
So you would tell them move out right now because you busted my diary and found out about the.
Yeah, you read page 10 about when I said I was doing that.
Chapter 3.
Yeah.
Page 2.
October 9th, 1798. Yes. Don't read that.
But you know what I mean?
To me, I
would you break up?
Because I would be very like.
So how would you break up? Give me the sentence.
I would say, you know what? You can't respect my privacy, so bye.
You'd say, move out today. No, baby, please don't. I just wanted to know your secrets.
No, they're my secrets.
I wanted to know about Jamal. But okay, so that's where I'm saying with privacy. And I feel like a lot of that with that privacy is asking for permission to do certain things with and without your partner. And I feel like where, who, and when, that's no longer like, that's my thing.
I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys are living together. You guys are your partner. That's your partner. So you should know where they're at, what they're doing, and all that stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes people manipulate and start to say, well, you're being possessive and controlling. It's not about being possessive and controlling because I'm responsible for you. If something happens.
Yeah, what if you never come home? Exactly. I don't know who to call. I don't know where you're at. I don't know anything.
And I don't think that's an excuse. People, well, that's just an excuse to know where. No, dude, you lost that privacy.
What's with the secrecy is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you end it right there. What's with the secrecy? Boom.
Yeah, what's with the secrecy?
Well, it's not about being secret. Okay, well then tell me where you're going, who you're going with, and when. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to show up, but I need to know in case I'm watching the 10 o'clock news.
Or especially if there's kids involved. Like, hey, if I'm watching your kid while you're going out, then
that's
I should know where you're at.
I agree.
But if they say, where's mommy, where's daddy? Like, I don't know. You know?
Yeah, true. You're not going to tell them that they're going to a titty bar.
Yeah,
they're at the titty bar. So, I mean, I feel like that's in a sense, people like to keep that private. Like, no, just because we move in together doesn't mean that you need to know where I'm going and who I'm going to be with or whatever.
Yeah, it does.
Or
Then you shouldn't have moved in together.
Yeah, I agree with that. So you lose that
That's
privilege.
why I just feel like moving in with someone is such a big step, such a big commitment that like that people do it so like often, and I know I'm one of those people, but I know what it's about when I get myself into that situation, so I'm not bitching.
We learn
about
from it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learn from it. And like, you know, I feel like we touched on a lot of the good, like, you know, aspects about privacy and stuff. And like I said earlier too, we don't want to get too deep into relationship expectations for that. Just know where you go and who you're with and when might be needed to disclose, because there are some wives that'll be like, well, he pays the bill, so I don't need to know. But it's like, no, girl, you need to know.
Yes, you do.
You need to know.
Yes, you do.
So yeah.
If you don't like cleaning his dirty drawers all the time, then don't do it. Tell him, hey, clean your own dirty drawers, you know?
Anyways, so, you know, we discussed, you know, having that discussion with your partner before making that big step. You know, we discussed like the finances and everything about
being transparent.
Yeah, being transparent about your finances and ask those questions because, like you said, it was important for you to ask a credit score because that tells you about that person, it tells you about the debts, the child support that they have to pay. You need to know these things because these will affect your relationship and your time spent in that house. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and again, like the responsibilities with the household chores.
Yeah, it's just a discussion. Hey, you do the dishes, I'll cook. Okay, cool. Yeah. Deal. You throw out the trash. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll clean out the fridge. All right, cool.
And then when, you know, and then going back, when kids are involved, you got to talk about the scheduling, your schedules, their schedules, but you're there to help out. You're not there just to sit there and allow them to parent by themselves. Of course. I get it. You have to respect the co-parenting, but you do have a responsibility being in that household. If you're not comfortable being left with the kids, then don't move in.
Yeah, I think you have to be realistic. If you're getting with someone with kids, then don't think you're not going to parent. Don't think you're not going to be responsible for bath time once in a while or
wiping ass.
Yeah, or wiping ass. Yeah, changing a diaper. Like that's unrealistic. Why be with someone with kids? Go find someone that doesn't have kids. If that's what if you don't want to do that, you know, and that's reasonable. If you don't want to do that, hey, no. Not talking down, like, no, you know, that's good. If you just know that and don't move forward with it, but don't move in and then make it a problem. No, don't do that.
Yeah, and don't move in just because you got them pregnant or just because you're pregnant. You know what I mean?
Don't move in just because you don't want to live with your mom no more.
Yeah, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't find a, hey, baby, I live here, let me move in. No, don't play those games. But, you know, no matter what, you're giving up some privacy. That's what to be considered. You know what I mean? Yeah, and moving in is a big deal. It signifies more of a long-term commitment, and along that is like gaining more responsibilities, you know, whether they got kids or not. You're taking care of somebody else that's depending on you to a certain extent.
You're even compromising.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of it has to do with just compromising with your partner.
Yeah, so they're supporting you, you're supporting them, so you guys are depending on each other, you know, to a certain extent.
You're depending. You.
Yeah, exactly. So it's responsibilities. More responsibilities on top of what you already got for yourself, and then adding kids is another third responsibility.
And being considerate and all that stuff, boundaries, all that stuff.
So, in my opinion, don't do it. I mean,
unless you're like really, really certain, don't do it. Unless
I feel like you can't be too certain.
Unless you already spotted out how they live, if they're a parent, how they parent.
Don't do
their finances with their credit scores. If everything looks, if everything checks out, then hey, go for it. You know. And then hopefully it works out.
I mean, as of right now, like, I mean, who knows? Maybe.
But look, even people complain when they're married. Married people can like.
Yeah, but I feel like, but then you have to look at it. Why they get married? What's the reasoning behind that? Yeah. How do you know it's not going to work out? Like, I'm not saying like anxiety or whatever, overthinking things or whatever, but when you go back and you review things, you start to think about all these little things. Like, I look back and I'm just like, dang, her room was dirty.
Dang. Her car was clean.
Dang, she always forgot her wallet. Remember?
Oh yeah, first 10 dates forgot your wallet.
Yeah, no, finances. Yeah, that.
So that was a red flag that Sabina was always going to have to pay for everything. If you date someone and every time you go on a date they forget their wallet, the first 10 dates, then you just know that.
Yeah, Steph told me, and I was in denial, and I was like, no, I think she really forgot it. And she's like, so right now, as we're like looking back.
So it was like what? It was like what date? Like when we were going out to hang out. Like you guys were on date. I don't know, 3 or something, 4 hanging out.
And I joked with it.
Yeah, she would joke about it. She goes, "Oh, I forgot your wallet again." And then Sabina tells me, she goes, "No, she really forgot her wallet." And I go, "Did she though? she forgets her wallet every time now, magically. But yet before she was talking to you, I'm sure she had her wallet,
Dude,
right?
one time, okay, legit.
Sure, she had to buy coffee or gas or something. She had her wallet then.
She was like, yeah, I pumped gas before I went. And I'm like, oh, okay. But you still forgot your wallet. Okay, I believe you. Oh, I'm dumb.
Red flag.
But even then, one time I did forget my wallet.
I do remember
you remember that? Okay.
And I was like, dumb, forgot your wallet.
Yeah, she goes, dumb. All of a sudden you forget your wallet. I was like, no, I really did forget my wallet. I really did forget my fucking wallet. It wasn't like payback or anything. And she's like, good thing I remembered. I was like, damn, all of a sudden.
Hey, see, but it foreshadowed everything you dealt with. You've seen the dirtiness. Mm-hmm. She forgot her wallet. What were your major things? Her dirtiness, finances.
I feel like you're making me eat my words, and I don't like it. Give me a stomachache, everybody, and I'm lactose intolerant with those words.
Just don't ignore the red flags. That's all my advice is. And if you ignore the red flags, don't get mad later when it's an issue. It is what it is. You accepted it. If you've seen it and you said, yes, let's move in, then you are accepting those red flags and flaws.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to, like, again, going back to, go see Dr. Chapman about your 5
but you have to be reasonable. So if they're used to living this certain way and you've seen it,
it's their love language.
You've seen it. You've seen how they were living before you moved in. Don't think it's automatically going to change just because you move in.
Stop lecturing me.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying, But, thanks for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this. And on this one, leave some comments about if you guys have any examples of, situations that you've gone through or that you've heard about.
We want to know about your pet peeves.
Together. Yeah, what are pet peeves?
Send me a message.
What are things that you argued about with your significant other once moving in that you didn't think was going to be an issue? I didn't know they were going to leave the cap off the toothpaste.
I didn't know they were going to shower every 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know they were going to leave their socks all over the place. Let us know, because these are real issues that people deal with, and how we maneuver through these situations is difficult. How do we not hurt their feelings? By saying pick up your sticky socks.
Yeah, send us a message, whether it's text message, Snap.
If you don't know us, comment.
Comment.
Instagram.
One time I had this. We want to hear that, and it's funny because I think it's always funny to look back at it, especially when you're not dealing with it no more. I think it becomes funny. And
everyone's anonymous just because you tell us, DM us, and we're not going to say your name ever.
Yeah, I've cropped out everybody's names.
We just want to know. So, let's have fun with this one. But again, thank you for listening. Stay tuned.
Oh, I was so mad. I could have seen this coming right from the start. You should beware.
Baby, last time calling me baby, last time calling